Morning sunlight spills onto the crowded marketplace, and in its center stands Leora, the juggler with hands swift as sparrows. At first she tosses 3 bright wooden balls, red, blue, and green, arcing through the air in a perfect circle that earns polite applause. A baker claps louder and calls, "Add my rolling pin." Leora smiles, nods, and folds the heavy pin into a rhythm. The butcher grins. "My cleaver, if you dare." Again Leora says yes. The metal blade flashes between the painted balls, and the crowd roars. A glassblower offers a glowing orb fresh from the furnace. A fruit seller flings 2 oranges. A blacksmith adds a horseshoe still warm from the forge. With every new request, Leora's pulse pricks faster, but her lips keep shaping one word: yes, because the cheers swell each time she says it. Within minutes, the circle above her head grows into an unruly galaxy. Rolling pin, cleaver, orb, horseshoe, oranges, balls. Now a small drum from a traveling minstrel. The drum beats punctuate each catch, masking the harder thud of Leora's heart. Sweat beads on her brow, yet she refuses to blink. Approval feels too sweet to lose. A boy at the front watches, worry creasing his young face. He tugs his mother's sleeve. "She's juggling too much," he whispers. The mother hushes him. Spectacle outweighs caution. The sun slides higher, baking the plaza stones. Leora's shoulders ache. Her breath turns ragged. Still the merchants test her limits. A lantern, an apple cart wheel, even a lit torch from the Fire Eaters Act. The torch whooshes through the arc, singeing stray hairs. Gasps ripple, then louder cheers. Inside the roar, a thin inner voice tries to speak. Enough. But decades of performing, of equating value with the volume of clapping, have taught her to silence that voice. She forces a grin and nods at the flower vendor, who tosses a clay pot. The pot's weight shifts the pattern a fraction. Leora compensates, widening her stance, wrists blurring faster. One mistimed beat from the drum, however, and the cleaver's handle skims her forearm. A bright line of pain blooms, yet she keeps the circle spinning. A collective gasp becomes a surge of admiration. The crowd loves a near disaster almost as much as a triumph. Clips the rolling pin. Both collide with the glass orb. Shards explode in a rainbow spray. The cleaver clatters against the horseshoe, sparks jumping. Oranges burst underfoot. Leora's painted balls bounce away like startled birds. Silence swallows the plaza as she stands trembling, arms empty at last. A single shard has sliced her palm. Blood drips onto the stones. The crowd scatters, some to fetch water, some embarrassed by their own appetite for more. The boy approaches quietly and offers a small linen cloth. "You don't have to catch everything they throw," he says, voice barely above wind. Leora sinks to her knees, pressing the cloth to her cut. The boy's simple truth lands heavier than any object she'd tried to juggle. Around her, merchants retrieve their belongings. Some apologetic, others merely irritated the show ended. The butcher wipes his cleaver clean. The glassblower mourns his broken orb. A healer wraps Leora's hand and leads her to a shaded stoop. She feels each heartbeat echo the word she never spoke aloud. No. The healer meets her gaze. Hands that say yes to everything. Eventually drop what matters most, she murmurs. Leora studies her bandaged palm, recognizing how near she came to losing the craft she loved just to keep pleasing an ever-hungry crowd. Days pass before she returns to the plaza. This time she carries only 3 wooden balls. Children gather, expecting the spectacle to swell, but Leora raises a finger. 3, she declares with a gentle smile. "I juggle only what leaves space to dance." The balls rise and fall in elegant arcs, and a calmer, richer rhythm ripples through the watchers. Some drift away in search of bigger thrills. Others stay, entranced by the grace returned to each throw. Friends, think of Leora when eager hands shove ever more tasks, favors, and burdens your way. Every yes is a weight. Every weight steals balance. Mastery lies not in clutching more, but in guarding space for the motions that give you joy. If this tale lightened a hidden load on your shoulders, share it with someone spinning too many objects. Stay brave, stay grateful, and keep only the balls that let your life dance. one chosen yes at a time.